What's up guys, Justin here with the CGEssentials.com, back with another Blender modeling and texturing tutorial for you. So in today's video we're going to talk about how to model a simple fence and then add textures to it using the UV mapping tools. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. So I was out on a walk yesterday and I was looking at some of the fencing that I was around while I was walking, and I wanted to model something kind of similar to this fencing. We're going to keep it a little simpler than this, but we're going to model something that looks a lot like this, and then we're going to talk about how to add textures to it. And so the way that we're going to do this is I'm going to start off and I'm going to delete my default model, and then I'm just going to type Shift S and put my cursor at the world origin, and then do Shift A and add a cube for my fence post. So I'm going to scale this down like this, and then I'm going to tab into this, and we're going to type 3 to go into face select mode, and I'm just going to move this face up a little bit in order to make my first post. And so one thing we want to make sure that we do is we want to go into our object, and since we scaled it down, we want to make sure that we apply our scale to this object. Otherwise your textures are going to get messed up a little bit later. And so one thing that we can do when we're doing this is, if you look at the image, these posts aren't necessarily straight up and down, right? So for example, there's kind of some ins and outs, they're kind of irregular, and so we're just going to add a little bit of detail to this just by coming in here and adding some edge loops. So I'm just going to select this object and hit the tab key, like this, in order to go into edit mode, and then we're going to type Control R and scroll our mouse wheel up in order to add a few loop cuts in here. And so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to right click, and so now what we've done is we've split this up and added some more detail to our geometry. Then we can just come in here and we can just move some vertices around. So that's probably the simplest way to do this, is just to move some vertices. You could also go into like wireframe mode, and assuming maybe you wanted there to be like a twist or something, you could like rotate this a little bit, maybe scale it up. And all we're doing is we're just trying to make this look a little bit irregular. So we're just trying to make it not look perfectly square, because perfectly square objects don't really exist in the real world. And so this has given us our first post right here. And so now we can go ahead and we can come in here and we can add a texture to it. And so I've downloaded a couple textures from textures.com, which I will link to in the notes down below. These are free versions of the textures, and you can use those in order to apply the texture to this object. But to start off, what we're going to do is we're going to go into shading mode, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a new material to apply to this object. And so what I'm going to do is I've downloaded these assets, and so you're going to want to go to textures.com, and I will link to these textures in the notes down below. You can find textures similar to these, or you can find others as well. So there's an old planks wood, and then there's also a wood ends texture. And what I've done is I've actually gone through and I've combined those into a single file in Photoshop to make this easier. So in my single file in Photoshop, looks like this. So what I've done is I've taken this texture material and then the ends material and put them in the same file, just for simplicity's sake. And so you can see how I just took the wood ends and put that up here. And so we're going to import that image in here, and really all you need to do if you have that in a folder, is just drag the image in, just like this. And so I've dragged this in, and so now I have the wood texture in here, and I'm just going to link the color up to the base color right here. You want to make sure you're in material preview mode when you do this, so you can actually see this material right here. And you can see how at the moment your texture isn't really showing up quite the way we want it to show up. So it is on one side but not on the other, so you can see how you have a wood material applied to this, but if you look at the back side, you're getting the darker material of this object. And so what we need to do in order to fix this is we need to go in and we need to set up the UV mapping for our object. And so in order to set up the UV mapping for our object, I'm going to go into the UV editing tab. And within the UV editing tab, I'm going to go ahead and set this to material preview mode. You can see how on the left hand side I get a window, and you can click the little drop down right here to find the different textures that are contained inside of your model. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on wood textures. So we're going to click on that one for right now. Notice that if I select faces in my object, over here. So if I do a shift click and select these, you can see how those faces are actually showing up inside of my material over here. So if I was to tap A in order to select everything, you can see how this whole thing is showing up over here. Well, then I could select this. So I could either type 3 to enter face select mode. You can see how I can move this around. So I can move one of these around if I want to individually, or I could also move them all around. I can also scale them by tapping the S key. So you can see how when I do that, the location of my wood over here is affecting the way this texture is applied over here. And so notice how if I move this around, the way the image is being applied to my 3D model is due to the way that each one of my faces is referenced over here. But the problem is, what we need to do is we need to kind of unwrap this so that it lays out flat. Because if I type A right now, you can see how what this is giving me is this is giving me kind of a weird layout in here. And so in addition, we need to associate the ends with this image right here. And so what I want to do is I want to come in here and I want to select some edges. So I'm going to type in 2 and I'm going to select the edges around the face by doing a shift click. And so when I do that, I can go up to the UV options and I can click on the button for Unwrap. But before we do that, what we want to do is we want to set this as a seam. And so basically the way this works is assume that the way that you apply a texture image to an object is almost like if you were to cut like a paper box up. So we want to cut this along a seam so that we can unwrap it so that it lays out properly along this image. And so the way that we need to do that first is we need to mark the ends. So we're going to select all 4 of these. We're going to go up to UV and we're going to click on Mark Seam. You're going to notice when you do this, what this is going to do is this is going to make this whole thing red. So you can see how the border of this is now red. And so now if I was to tap the A key and under UV select Unwrap, you can see how I get this kind of like weird result. And so the reason I get this weird result is because I've marked one seam. That one seam is being associated with this object right here. But what we need to do is we need to mark a couple more seams. So I'm just going to undo this. And now what I want to do is I want to select this edge by doing a shift click. And then under UV, I want to mark that as a seam as well. And so we're almost done, but if I was to unwrap this right now, you can see how I still get a weird result because I haven't marked the seam on the very bottom. So we're going to undo that. We're also going to go down to the very bottom, like this. We're also going to mark the seam down here. So now what we have is we have a seam all the way around the object on the bottom, then a seam all the way around the object on the top, and then one running this way. Well, now if I type the A key and then do a UV unwrap, you can see how what this is going to give me is now I have each one of these objects. So I have my top object and my bottom object in here separately. And then this has also come in here and this has unwrapped my box just like this. Well, now what we can do is we can start by selecting our top box like this, and we're going to move this up so that this box is now sitting on top of my end texture. You can see how now on the top of this I'm getting the same result. So I've got this end texture sitting right here. And then we can do the same thing for the bottom. So if you look at the bottom, then select this object like this, see how you can move this around, and notice that you can scale it up and down as well. So just like this. So you can tap the S key in order to scale this, but we can use this in order to place our end on this object right here. And then finally, we can move over here and select all of these, and we can move them by tapping the G key. And so you can see how you can use this in order to apply the texture to these faces. What we want to do in this situation is we want to scale this down so that we're not getting any of the black texture on here. Then we want to move this up and down. And so one thing you want to be a little bit careful about when you do this is you do want to look at the top of your object and make sure that any large cracks or anything like that kind of line up, because right now what you're getting is you're getting a very visible seam in here. So if I was to tab out of edit mode into object mode, you get a very visible seam along this edge right here because you don't actually have any cracks associated with this. So in order to fix that, for example, and it's not going to be perfect, it's very difficult to get these to be exactly perfect, but for example, I could select this and I could move it over so that this crack right here aligns with this crack right here. And so from there you get kind of a realistic look for your wood. And so what we have is we have our vertical wood post, just like this. And so what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to go back into layout mode, and I'm just going to add a couple extra objects for our horizontal post pieces. So I'm going to do a Shift A, I'm going to add a cube, and we'll just scale it down. Then we'll move this out. So all I did was I just held the Z key to go into wireframe mode, and I selected this face, and then I'll just use the move tool by tapping G and lock this to the red axis in order to move this as long as I want this to be. So I'm going to move this along this axis right here. Then we can go back into solid mode, and you can scale this however you want. So you can scale it out, you can also scale it along like the Y axis in order to make it a little narrower if you want to do that. You can move it. So you can see how I'm just kind of aligning this to be where I want it to be. And make sure after you've done all your scaling that you apply your scale to this. And then we're just going to go back in and do the same thing. We do a Control R, and we just split this up a little bit. So we're just going to add a couple loop cuts. And I'm just going to move these around a little bit in order to make this a little bit more realistic or organic or whatever. And so then in this situation, what I might do is I might duplicate my object by doing a Shift D, and I might rotate it. So I might rotate it 180 degrees and then move it across. That way I can use the same kind of shape, and I may still come in here and adjust this a little bit so that these don't look exactly the same. And you can see how now I have a fence running in here, and in a minute we'll duplicate all of this, but we need to make sure that we apply our materials to these objects. So we're just going to go through and do the exact same thing. We're going to go to UV editing mode, and it might make a little bit more sense on something like this actually to apply the materials before you duplicate these. I'm not super worried about it because these will be pretty easy to unwrap, but we're just going to go ahead and pick that same material for each one of these objects. And then for each one of them, I'm just going to follow the same UV unwrap process. So I'm just going to select these. I'm going to mark them as seams. Then I'm going to select the whole thing, and I'm going to UV unwrap it. So that'll give me the same thing I had before, and I'm less worried about the ends in this situation because you're not going to see them. So I'm just going to move this up here, move this right here, and then if I look at this in material preview mode, you can see how my material has been mapped on that face. And you can kind of fool around with this to adjust the size of the material that's applied on here. And then I'm just going to repeat the process for these objects. And so now you can see how we have our fence kind of roughed out and ready to go. And now what we can do from this point is we can take this whole thing and we can just start continuing our fence just by duplicating these pieces. So I'm going to do a Shift D, for example. I'm just going to move these right along this X-axis for right now, and then you could come in here and maybe like rotate them a little bit. So you could select all of these, whoops, So you can kind of rotate these to make these a little bit less uniform in order to make this fence feel a little bit more realistic. You could also, if you ever feel like any of these are like repeating too much, you could like swap them around as well. So if you ever feel like your fence posts are repeating a little bit too much, personally I think these look pretty good, but you could always kind of move these around in here. So you could maybe like swap this. Maybe just move these around to get you a little bit more randomness in here. But you can see how by using this method, you can add a textured fence inside of Blender really easily. So that's where I'm going to end this video. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought. Was this helpful to you? Have you used this method before? I just love having that conversation with you guys. If you like this video, please remember to click that like button down below. If you're new around here, remember to click that subscribe button for new Blender content every week. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.